Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to solve another question related to compound interest. So we have our question over here. If the half-yearly compound interest on a certain sum in a year at the rate of 10% is 40 rupees more than the yearly compound interest on the same sum for same time and at the same rate, then find the sum. So what this question is telling us is that the half-yearly compound interest is 40 rupees more than the yearly compound interest on a certain sum at a certain rate and for the same time period. Okay, so first let's just write the given things, right? So we have solution. We need to find the principal amount. Okay, we need to find the sum. So we are going to assume our principal as rupees X. We don't know how much money we have deposited in a bank. Okay, so let's assume this as X. And then we have our rate of interest as 10%. And finally, we have our time as 1 year. So here in our question, the question is saying in a year, okay? So a year means 1 year. Now the last one thing, which is very important to solve this question, is that the half-yearly compound interest is 40 rupees more than the yearly compound interest. We can write that as, let's say our half-yearly compound interest is CI1 minus our yearly compound interest is, let's say, CI2. We know that the first half-yearly compound interest is 40 rupees more than the yearly. So the difference between these two compound interests should be Rs 40. Okay, so this is also given in our question. And this is a very important thing, okay? This will be the key in solving our question. Now that we have written all the given things, let's see how we can solve this particular question. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to find this compound interest 1 and compound interest 2, okay? Remember that this compound interest 1 is our half yearly and the compound interest 2 is our yearly compound interest. Okay, so first let's just find our half yearly compound interest, right, which is CI1. And we know the formula of half yearly compound interest is P big bracket small bracket 1 plus R divided by its 200, okay? In case of half yearly, bracket close, we have 2t over here minus 1. Now we just put in the values, right? Our principal is X, we don't know this value, bracket 1 plus our R is 10 divided by, we have our 200 over here, bracket close, 2 times our time period is 1, so 1 minus 1 equals to, we have our X over here, our big bracket, again our small bracket, 1 plus 10 divided by 200 is 0.05, bracket close, 2 times 1 is 2 minus 1 equals to, again we have our X, again we have our big bracket, 1 plus 0.05 is 1.05, again whole square minus 1 equals to, we have again our X, 1.05 whole square is 1.1025 minus 1 equals to, now 1.1025 minus 1 is 0.1025 times X is just X, right? So it's 0.1025 X. Now this is our half yearly compound interest on a certain sum, which is our X, okay? So we have found our compound interest 1. Now for the compound interest 2, again, we are just going to use the formula and find the value in terms of X. So for our compound interest 2, which is our yearly compound interest, again, we have our formula P, big bracket, small bracket, 1 plus R divided by 100 because it's yearly compound interest, bracket power T minus 1 equals to, again, we don't know the value of principal, it says X, bracket, again bracket 1 plus our R is 10 divided by 100, bracket close, our time period was just 1 minus 1. So this is going to give us X, bracket 1 plus 10 divided by 100 is 0.1, bracket close, we can ignore that power 1, right? So minus 1, bracket close equals to, this is going to be X, right? So we have a bracket, 1 plus 0.1 is 1.1. Again, 1.1 minus 1 is 0.1. So we can just write that as 0.1 equals to, we have 0.1. 0.1x. So this is our yearly compound interest. So what we have done here is we have found our yearly compound interest, and we have also calculated our semi-yearly compound interest. So we have found the CI1 and CI2. Now what we are going to do is we are going to use this given thing, right, which is our compound interest 1 minus compound interest 2 is 40, to find the value of x. So from question, we know that CI1 minus CI2 is equals to Rs 40. And we have already found the value of CI1 and CI2. The value of CI1 was 0.1025x minus, we just found the value of CI2, which was 0.1x, right? So minus 0.1x equals to, we have 40 rupees. And now we can just subtract these two numbers, right? And we get 0.0025x equals to, we have our 40 over here. And then to find the value of x, we are going to move this 0.0025 over there, and it's going to be divide, right? So 40 divided by 0.0025. And when we divide those two numbers, we get x equals to Rs 16,000. So we just found the value of x by using this particular equation, okay? And then we have solved our question. We found the value of x, which is our sum, or you could say principal. So the sum or principal that if you deposit in your bank is going to give you 40 rupees more in semi-annually than in annually at the same rate of interest of 10% after 1 year is 16,000 rupees. The most important thing is you need to be able to figure out this part from the question. So if you can figure out this much, then all the rest is pretty easy. So if you enjoyed our video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for future maths videos. Thank you.